Welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm Victor Maunzeni and I'll be presenting on the human digestive system and also touching on the principles of nutrition. We will touch on the anatomy and the physiology of the human digestive system and also cover the structure and function of different organs within the digestive system. Also, we'll zoom in on the principles of good food for the human bodies. As we go along, let's jump in. Overall, we have the pictorial view of the human digestive system, noting that digestion starts from the mouth all the way to the anus. As I go through this presentation, I'll be taking you through each and every part of the system. The other term for the digestive system can be known as alimentary canal or gastrointestinal tract, GI tract as we refer to it. It is an active processing system of continuous muscular tube that extends from the oral cavity, that is the mouth, all the way passing through the esophagus, the stomach, small intestine, the large intestine, rectum, and to the anus, and it goes. Overall, there are 6 key processes that are taking place within the system, which are ingestion, propulsion, mechanical digestion, chemical digestion, absorption, and defecation being the last stage. We'll zoom in on each and every process of this system as we go along. Okay, we're starting up with the mouth. The moment we take food into our mouth and start chewing it, from that moment we are already started the digestion system that is called mastication, and we are increasing the surface area for enzymic action to take place. From there, we have also chemical digestion from the saliva that comes from the saliva glands within the mouth, be it sublingual glands or mandibular glands, submandibular glands, that will be, with the aid of the tongue, they will be rolling the food and forming bolus formation, so small balls of food. After chewing, the tongue will roll those balls, pressing down them, passing the pharynx, going towards the esophagus. We'll zoom in on that esophagus to see the action of swallowing, that is peristalsis. As the small balls, that is bolus, going down towards the stomach, construction occurs behind the ball. It is pushed down towards the stomach as it goes through the process of involuntary swallowing. As you get to the stomach, we notice that there is a valve, an entrance valve of food that connects the stomach around the fundus area in the esophagus, and that valve acts as, once food goes or bolus passes that valve, it won't come back, or even some bile or chemicals from the stomach won't come up the esophagus to cause what we call heartburn. But in the entirety of it, we notice our stomach is a J-shaped muscular sac that is got a highly folded interior, which we'll expand on as we go. But within the stomach, we've got mechanical digestion, chemical digestion, and the surface of the stomach allows for gastric juices and hydrochloric acid to come out. We will zoom in on the histology of the stomach, and we can tell how it protects itself from autodigestion. And within the stomach area, we notice also, before food is passed on through the pyloric sphincter, that is the exit, we know there is churning there where during the the breaking down of food, and also exertion of pepsin that helps in the breaking down of food. Okay, zooming in for the surface of the stomach, we see there is mucus around the surface area of the stomach. We'll zoom in onto it as we come. Coming on down. Okay, this is the surface of the stomach epithelium with little holes that goes into the gastric pits, and we can see the layer surface of the cross section of the stomach surface. We've got mucosa, submucosa, scalarius externa, and also the last part, okay, will be cerulosa. Within the musculus externa, that's when we have got three layers: oblique, circular, and longitudinal layer that help in the turning and churning of food. And also the gastric pits helps to with digestion of proteins. You can see within that pit the pH is between 1.5 to 3.5 levels of acidity in the pH level within the gastric pits, and thus glands exude the juices that helps in the breakdown of food. Once food is passed from the stomach, it goes to the small intestine, which is comprises of three parts, which is the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. And once we are in the duodenum, we also have the connection. As we zoom below there, we can tell the connection between between the duodenum and also the liver. Going to the liver, the two hepatocyte ducts that comes from the liver, the gallbladder, which stores bile from the liver, and it comes to connect with the pancreatic duct that also supplies bile to the jejunum to help with the absorption and further breakdown of the food and subsequent absorption of nutrients from food. So all this is in the small intestine. That is where we can say major breakdown and absorption of nutrients from food occurs. So to pass on, within the liver, the role of the liver within the digestion system, we notice that in the bile there is the bile production. That's a major part of it. Bile production within the liver. Even though we know it's the liver itself, it is a central processing plant for the whole body. It's got many other different activities that it carries out. But as far as digestion is concerned, we have got hepatocytes, liver cells that produce bile, which are stored and concentrated in the gallbladder. Once they are grown and they are passed on through the bile duct when needed in the jejunum, and also it links with the pancreatic ducts that also produces bile that will be helping in the breaking down of nutrients. Other activities that we find under the in the liver section is it regulates blood glucose level, glycogenesis, and also glycogenesylases, processes amino acids and synthesizes plasma proteins, and for the most part it also detoxifies substances like alcohol and drugs. That is our liver helping with the digestion system. Zooming in into the surface of the small intestine, we can tell that there is what we call the veal and the microveal. It is the plical circularis, which is a finger-like construction that falls within the mucosa, and it spreads, it takes to spread the surface area so that it increases the area for absorption of nutrients. As we can zoom in onto how it is structured there, we can tell from the circular part of the small intestine within the mucosa area, before the submucosa, we have got what we call the villi, the small dots that are there. And within the villi, we also have what we call the microvilli. Okay, let's go back before we go there. Let's zoom in into the microvilli. Okay, this is the villi we have here. We've got also the surface, the mucosa, submucosa, circular muscles before the cererosa and the just after the longitudinal muscles. We have got what we call microvilli within the villi. So this microvilli, it also acts to spread the surface area, increase the surface area within the small intestine to allow for maximization of absorption of nutrients. We are called villas. From the small intestine, food it passes on to the large intestine via the ileocecal sphincter to the anal canal. This is the area that we get here when we transit from the small intestine that is there and going to the large intestine due to the bigger the radius of the tube of large intestine, but it is shorter in length. So it goes ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, up to the sphenoid colon, rectum, and anal canal. Within the large intestine, it's mostly extracting water, that excessive water that is they've remained from the whatever fiber that is being defecated, that is being rejected by our digestive system, or being thrown away as waste, or pushed away from the small intestine as waste. And the large intestine is to extract and absorb as much of water from the waste material that is being passed out until it comes out in the anal canal. Okay, and we fly on to the 7 requirements of a balanced diet. As much as we have food, we need to have food that is appropriate and healthy in terms of nourishing our body. We have about 7 items that we need to make sure that our diet is balanced. For example, the carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, vitamins, minerals, with water, and dietary fibers. All these are important in moderation to our bodies so that we keep a balanced diet and keep our health, our bodies nourished. Not without these 7 fundamental categories of substance to the body, it allows the body to function well, optimally. But with the deficiency of them, or if one of them lacks, or one of it is in excessive quantity, we will have problems with our bodies or even our health. As we will see in the next slide, the effects of imbalance. Say maybe you are having too little of a certain nutrient, or we have too much of it. It leads, for example, protein, energy, malnutrition. It leads to kwashiorkor, marasmus, vitamin deficiency, vitamin A will lead to night blindness, vitamin C, scurvy, bleeding gums, and vitamin D. Also, you can have rickets in children. Minerals also are important in the form of iron, iodine, to prevent issues like microcytis, anemia, fatigue, even goiters. These diseases might not be present in the developed countries, but in the developing countries, you tend to have them popping up in communities. Within the nutrients basket, as people try to balance their diets as they eat, we have over the years encountered common nutritional misconceptions that we would want to counter here. We can have number one, carbohydrates are bad and make you fat. The counter to that is carbohydrates is a vital energy for the body, and what is critical is the type of carbohydrates that you're taking and the quantity. Here moderation is the key. In the type you are having, have the appropriate, avoid the junk carbohydrates, and be focused on eating the quantities that are appropriate for your body weight, or to maintain a body weight at an appropriate level. We can have also excess of carbohydrates that also will be stored as surplus and create fat within our bodies, body fat. But you need to detoxify or cleanse your body with special juices or diets. The best way to support your body is to support your body's natural detoxification system. Eat the right food that is balanced and rich in fiber, antioxidants, water, and limits the harmful intake of harmful substances. Number three, eating fat makes you fat. There is fat you might call unsaturated fats linked to healthy, sustainable, which is sustainable or good for the body, which comes from avocados, and we have got olive oil. Is good fat for the body, but if you take fat that is saturated or trans fat, that is bad for the body, and it builds up in you as body fat, and hence you end up being overweight. High protein is necessary for everyone, especially for fitness. Because of that, in terms extremely high protein diets, they put a lot of strain on the kidneys and over time in terms of function. So you need to balance it off in terms of how you take it in, as it tends to create also problems with your kidneys. All calories are created equal. As we mentioned earlier, the calorie sources matters. There is good calorie sources and there is bad. Calories from junk food is definitely going to add on to your body fat and weight, but source from calories from healthy food, be it vegetables, fruits, it also aids your positive balancing of your health. The current recommendation from the World Health Organization is eating energy, consuming calories that are corresponding to your healthy weight, so that you don't have excess energy within or excess calories that you store within your body. Micronutrient quality, the carbohydrates, the sources from high fiber grains, or be it whole grains, vegetables, the fats, unsaturated fats, be it, as we mentioned earlier, the olive oils, the avocado, the nuts, those are good fats. Then there is processed fats that are bad for you. Proteins, plant-based proteins from beans, beet, legumes, lean animal proteins is good for the health. And also nutrient density, choose nutrient foods that are healthy, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, rather than energy dense, like poor nutrient food, that is junk food. Limit processed foods in your diet, or the way you eat. Limit processed foods and go as much as to food that are from the farm, straight from the farm. Limit processed foods. Hydration. Reach for your water. water, they do say it is life. So you should hydrate, the primary source being water for hydration. Then, thank you for your time, and we've covered our healthy human health digestive system, our health recommendation as far as nutrition is concerned, and also how to balance off your diet and avoid misconceptions in your lifestyle. Thank you.